Hello, everybody. It is a wonderful Wednesday. Thank you guys for joining me here on Behind the Layers. I am Cara Christensen, your host, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far. Things have been a little chaotic. Lots of big changes happening in our world right now. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's to come. Today's podcast, we are going to be talking about just that. Mostly every January, starting of a new year, all the resolutions have to do with getting your life on track, changing something about your life, whether it's the way that you work out, your sleeping schedule, your eating, your what have you. There's a big number that is dedicated to the health industry in that realm, right? So, the manifestation book that I have been reading and want to talk about today and elaborate, this is the journey, this is the new challenge we are all going to start together. Those of you that are excited to join in, I've gotten a lot of great feedback from it. Thank you so much. For those of you that have reached out about it, I'm excited to answer questions about it because it's exciting. It's an exciting venture. But so on February 1st, because it's a 28-day process. So I'm like, what a perfect timing, right? February has 28 days. This is the perfect time to start it. 28 days of manifesting whatever your heart desires. What is in that big old mind, body, and spirit of yours? What are your dreams, your desires, what the life that you always wanted to have, wished you had? What are those dreams? What are those desires? What are those things that you felt, oh, I wish I would have or could have? Well, I'm here to say there could be a method that says you can. And that's pretty exciting, right? And doing it for free. I mean, come on. Let's come on. Get out of here with that. So, on February 1st, we're going to do just that. We are going to go through this manifestation process together. Today, I'm going to talk about how exactly we're going to do that and kind of give you the lay of the land so you can go ahead and start maybe thinking about what you want to manifest, maybe letting it kind of sleeping on it, before February 1st hits and getting a little more of clarity, a little bit more of a direct focus on what it is that you do want. What does 2025 look like for you? What does your dream world look like? Or things you want out of this life? What does that look like? So many of us, I feel like, have pushed that so far back that maybe you don't remember clearly what the dreams were that you had inside your heart and soul at one point. Maybe you just got caught up in the grind and the daily grind of things, and you stopped thinking about those things. You stopped thinking about the things that made your spirit and your excitable measures tick. So I'm hoping today that we can get back to the root of that. It'll stir up something inside of you that will get your mind thinking on that fact again. Get it thinking on the matter of what is it that you always dreamt of? How did you see yourself in the future when you grow up as a kid? What is it that you saw yourself doing? Maybe your dreams have changed, of course. Maybe you have bigger dreams or different goals. So, but that's going to be something for you to be able to unfold, peel back the layers on, and discover again for yourself, because it's so important to have those and hold those close. And it's never too late to go after those dreams if you really want them, right? It's never too late. You can't say, oh, I'm too old or old, the time's past. If you're alive and you're breathing and you're able to make it so, then why not give it a go, right? If you're able to make something that you really wanted so bad in life come to fruition, does age really matter? That's the question. Do you think age matters? If you're able to make your wildest dreams come true, does age play a part in that? Or I guess if you can't physically do those dreams anymore. So this is going to be something that's more of a realistic. What type of thing would you like to see yourself doing? Who do you want to see yourself being in 2025? What is your dream? What is your goal? So we're going to talk about that. The book that I've been reading is called The Magic, and it's by the same person that wrote The Secret. Let me just see The Secret right there. So it has that little like old school emblem on there for the original book, which was about manifesting your greatness. So I'm really hoping that when we dive into this together, by the end of the 28 days, there's going to be a lot of positive feedback, is the ultimate goal, of people saying, wow, I can't believe it. I can't believe these simple things have changed my life so drastically that now I have X, Y, and Z going on in my life. And before it was total and utter chaos. So I'm very excited about this. And also, specialists and doctors constantly talking about how fasting plays a big role in that. What does fasting have to do with manifesting your life and your goals? So we're going to hear from some specialists today, and we're going to dive into what this book is all about so you can get your brain spinning in the right direction and hopefully get it up and running for February 1st, when we're going to do this as a group thing every single day. We're going to be on sharing whatever it is that you want to share about your journey. But it's a daily commitment, not every other day. For this to happen in your life, for it to change your life for the good, for it to actually manifest greatness in the 28 days, you have to make it a ritual. You have to make it something you commit to every single day. Kind of like if you are on your weight loss journey or any type of new development journey. You have to be committed. You have to make that a daily part. You have to make it a habit. You have to change up your old habits, breaking your old habits and creating a new habit. And I feel like anything you do every single day is going to create a habit. So I'm really excited. But let's go ahead and we're going to listen to this guy talking about manifestation. So I think it's like 5 minutes, and then I'll go into the book a little bit. But he kind of breaks down a bit of the fasting and manifestation. So let's dive in. Actually, let me go here, open it up. There we go. Get the full Monty. And
namaste, this is Sri Akashana here, and in this video I want to break down for you 3 reasons why water fasting will help you speed up your manifestations. So we're going to dive into
a little backstory on this guy. He actually holds retreats and does this for a living. He is a person that actually talks about this and does retreats for other people to come and join him and help them learn how to manifest whatever it is in that they see themselves, their greatness, unlock greatness within them. So this is his job. This is his profession. And so we're going to listen to him. What is it that he kind of guides the people that come to him to do?
point number 1, right? Point number 1 is all about clearing your stuck energies. And why is that important is because if you look at it like this, right? When we cleanse, what we are doing is, especially when you do a water fast, right? When you take 3 days, it's emptying out your vessel. It is also starting to burn some of the stored fat that you are holding, because it's starting to eat into it to use it as energy. That's on day 3. Now, when that happens, what's happening is our physical, always understand, is a representation of our metaphysical. So how our energy is, if our energy is stuck, it will show on this lower belt. That's why a lot of the time people say when it lose fat, they can lose fat on this top end, but that lower little donut of a ring that we have, right, is very hard to lose. And that's because all our traumas and past and memories and things like that, all these stuck energies are stored there towards the solar plexus, the sacral chakra is stored in that energy center.
Stored where
And so
you
when we're
don't
doing
want
water
them.
fast and it actually starts eating into the fat that is there, what actually happens is it's removing the physical, therefore also clearing for the metaphysical. The energy will start to transcend and start to transpire and become a lot more vibrant. So what we are doing there, unconsciously or on a superconscious level, we are actually getting rid of certain past traumas, certain doubts, certain fears, some belief systems that may not be working for us. We're getting rid of those blockages. So that's what it does on a spiritual level. Then moving on to point number two. Point number two is it empties the mind, right? You'll find this actually happens whenever, let's say for example, you haven't slept for some time, you start to lose your mind. You start to not be completely there, right? That's actually why sometimes when we do certain practices where we don't sleep, right, we stay up all night and we do a meditation, it becomes very powerful, is because when we're not thinking, our energy can bypass out third eye into different dimensions and it can connect deeper with the universe. And so what actually happens is when you start fasting, it's highly likely, those of you who are not used to it, some of you at first will feel less energy, you'll feel tired, you'll feel sleepy, right? And while you feel that way, you'll be feeling, oh, this can't be good for me, right? Actually, some people, if you cleanse it through day 3, you'll find this home run. You actually feel there's more energy at that time, right? But what actually happens...
You notice he says by day 3, it's so true, because when you are doing these fast, when he's saying water fast, it's literally you're not having anything throughout your day but water. You can have like herbal tea as long as there's no sugars in it or any artificial anything. It's got to be legit herbal tea, but mainly it is water, lemon water, or you can have water with like cracked sea salt in it, just for a little extra electrolytes, are good for your organs. And it really is quite a spectacular wonder when you do hit that third day, when you are at that stage. When I start out with my clients, it's usually, we're doing intermittent fasting. We do 10-hour eating windows down to 8-hour, then 6-hour, and then 4-hour. So I get them through a couple weeks of this priming, if you will. And then probably by the third or the last week of the month, so after 3 weeks of priming them and getting them comfortable with shortening their window of eating, doing one meal a day a couple times a week, then we go into, okay, now we're ready to do some longer fasts. And I'll usually do like a 24-hour to a 36-hour fast, and then we'll maybe go into a 48-hour fast. But more time, I don't even know any time that there's ever been anyone that has said by day that have, they worked their way to a 3-day cleanse. This is a 3-day reset. So when we're saying a cleanse, it's not just like a colon cleanse or something like that. It's not just like a cleanse of your gut or your intestines or whatever. It's a full body, inner working, complete 180 about face overhaul. So literally every organ in your body is cleansed out, your gut, your biodome, all of your dead skin cells, all your dead cells inside are all replenished. They are rejuvenating. They're on a 3-day cycle turnover, but with like a power boost behind it, because your body now has nothing else to focus on other than healing itself and cleansing itself. So by that third day, you get, remember, I'm talking about no food. By the third day of a water cleanse, you get this surge of euphoria and energy and whoa, like you can't even explain in words. It is so wild. It's almost a small taste that you get when you hit the 19th hour of a fast. So let's just say like your last meal was at like 7 o'clock at night, and then you don't eat until, maybe like 5 o'clock the next day. That's not terrible, right? You ate all day the night before, you stopped eating at 7 p.m., and then you got a busy day the next day. You just stay busy, you drink your coffee, you drink, coffee, black coffee with maybe some monk fruit or something, no creamer or anything. You drink your coffee or your green tea, and you go about your day drinking your water, and then maybe by 5 p.m. you have your meal. You'll notice right around that time frame you're going to be like, whoa, what's happening? I am like so energized. My like almost like if you're taking some type of, I don't know, some type of mental focus drug, and you're like, wow, I feel so motivated. I feel like I could get a million things done, and I've got so many ideas, and I've got so much. You're lit up inside. That's just with 19 hours. It's almost like when you go on that 19-hour fast and you feel that feeling, take that feeling in a bottle and just multiply it by exponential numbers. That's what it feels like after a 3-day fast. It is unbelievable how much energy you have, unbelievable how focused and clear minded you are, unbelievable how optimized your body is at that point. Like you are working on just like a full brand new rebooted system. Your metabolism's on point, like everything's operating as it should be. Your inflammation's down, the way that your body is normally like achy, or your joints or your fingers are swollen, or your knees or hips or whatever your back, your neck, anything you've normally been struggling with or fighting with, miraculously is now not an issue. You're just like freaking out in your mind because you're like, what's happening? Why do I feel so great? I'm normally achy. This is weird. Is this real? Like so many things go through your mind, right? And you feel so motivated, and it blows your mind that you didn't take anything, that literally not one pill or like any kind of anything. You didn't take anything. And not only did you, and you haven't eaten food in 3 days. It blows your mind when you hit that third day what's happening, like how optimal your body is running it, in your mind, in your spirit, and your just everything just firing on all cylinders like a superhuman. That's what you feel like. You literally feel like, I can solve the problems of the world, I can take on the world, like I can do everything that I set my mind to. So it's no wonder that there are specialists and there are these gurus in the world that have been bringing people to helping them manifest their greatness through fasting. So that is the backstory on what he's talking about, that third day. When you're hitting that third day, this is what he does. He takes people into like the jungle and to these like remote areas to get them not to focus on anything else but the journey that your body and your spirit and your mind is going on, to help you be able to unlock your greatness in your mental status for manifesting literally anything and everything in your life. This is going to be crazy. Starting February 1st, we're going to do this. It's free, you guys. Free. Anybody you know that needs a change, they are been one bad thing after the next bad thing, just like nonstop raining down on them on their parade. You know anybody like that? Maybe that's something that you can resonate with. This is free to do. It only takes a daily commitment in the morning and in the evening before you go to bed. And it has nothing to do with food or working out or anything like that. So I hope you guys stick with me. I'm going to be diving into what we're talking about and what it is, so you can go ahead and get your mind into it and get your spirit thinking about it and sleeping on it every night until February 1st when we start. And so you can be prepared of what is it that your intentions are, what is it that your goals and your dreams are, and all the things that you probably maybe you put back and you just brushed it off, and it's been on that back burner so long it's burnt to a crisp, and you don't even know what it's like anymore. You don't even know what that dream is for yourself anymore because you pushed it back for so long. Or you just been on that daily grind and you're like, oh, wait, I did have dreams at one point. I did have goals that I wanted to do, something that made me tick, not just a job. I'm not talking about a job. I'm talking about what did you want? Who do you want to be? What is your, if you could paint the perfect 2025 revamp of your life, what would that be? That's what I'm talking about. That's the manifestation that you should have in mind when you're writing down the things that you want. You have to come with intent when you start this journey. It's a 28-day thing. February's got 28 days. Perfect timing to start. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to give it a go. You never know till you give it a go. That's my saying all around in my house with my clients. You never know until you give it a go. It's not, nothing I promote or say anything about anything on this channel is ever anything that is going to hurt you. It's only going to help you live your best life from the inside out. So this man is talking about how important this is. A choice. You don't even have to do this for the other part that I'm going to be talking about in a minute. This is just if you want to supercharge, if you will, your manifestation journey on February 1st, if you want to supercharge your intentions and supercharge your, I guess, your chances at this opportunity becoming successful and coming to fruition, this is a way to do it. And that starts with the fasting, the intermittent fasting, rolling into the, 24-hour, 36-hour, 48-hour, 72-hour fast. And if those of you did not catch what I talked about what's happening at a 19-hour space, the complete and utter euphoria when you haven't eaten for 19 hours, which I gave an example. That's if you had dinner last night at 7 p.m. and then you didn't eat until 5 p.m. the next day. No biggie, right? Some people do that anyway, but they don't realize what they're not paying attention and having that conscious awareness of, whoa, why am I feeling like fully charged right now and full of life and clear-minded and all the things that if you start paying attention to the focus, maybe that is your day. Maybe that is what happens. And now you'll know that's how your body reacts to no food for that long, giving your body time. It's almost like your body is like, okay, thank you. You just gave me the time I need to process all of the stuff that you already gave me. Now I have time to work on those ailments. All the stuff that you gave me as in food, the food you put in, the snacks you put in, the juices and the drinks and all the sugar and all the stuff you put in there, worn out. The body's worn out from processing that. But when you give it that time, that intermittent fasting, the extra time, okay, I processed that now. Oh, wait, you're not putting anything else in here? Oh, I have time to fix all your ailments? Boom, let's do it. I'm now going to fix that. Oh, this thing that's been brewing in here. Let me go and fix that. Let me go fix this wound that's been trying to heal, or this inflammation around your knees, or the arthritis in your fingers, or this inflamed vertebrae in your back. That's what your body does. That's how efficient it is. It's saying, if you are going to allow me the time after you are done putting food in my body, because every time you put the food in the body, now the body has to go rush to process all of that. Where is the fat going to go? Where are the carbs going to go? Where's the sodium going to go? Where are all the things that you put in from that meal or that snack or that drink? Now it has to go to work. Now it has to do that, and it can't focus on the other things it needs to do. So when you give it that time and you give it that space, it's a beautiful thing. And outside of that is not just for your physical and how you feel and how you look, but also the mental clarity, the sharpness, the focus, the excitedness. And now also, wow, at work, I was a little struggling with this thing, but now I just came up with a great idea for that, how to fix that. Or I came up with a great business idea. Maybe I'll try and venture this off on like a little side hustle and see where it goes. Like your brain starts thinking outside of the daily grind, or even able to solve those issues that have been like stuck for a while because they're just so walled up and you're so foggy. It's so beautiful, you guys. It is such a beautiful journey. And I can understand totally why there are so many specialists that are like, the fasting and the manifesting is 100% should be combined for full success. So after we finish with listening to this guy and what he does when he takes his people out, we're going to dive into the book that I've been reading, the one that we're going to start, The Magic, We're going to dive into what it is that is going to be asked of us to do in February. And you guys can go ahead and start thinking about your intentions so you can be prepared February 1st. Let's go. Making dreams happen. That's what we're going to do. So let's finish with this guy.
When you are less energy, you'll find this home run. You actually feel there's more energy. You'll feel tired. You'll feel sleepy.
This is
right? And while you feel that way, you'll be feeling, oh, this can't be good for me, right? Actually, some people, if you cleanse it through day 3, you'll find home run. You actually feel there's more energy at that time.
Day 3,
right?
True.
But what actually happens when you are less energy, you cannot think anymore. When you cannot think anymore, guess what? And you direct your energies purely towards your goals, your dreams, your manifestations, it becomes very powerful. Because now you without any of the distractions that are in the way. Usually the things that are blocking our manifestations is because we're overthinking. We're manifesting too many things that we don't want at the same time. So by emptying the mind, it actually helps clear the space for that path towards your manifestation, right? Then point number 3, reason number 3, why fasting is very good for you when it comes to law of attraction, is it because it amplifies your power. Right? What does this mean? Think of it this way. How many of you before, when you are eating and then you eat too much and then you get into what we call a food coma? Right? Why does that happen? Well, very simple. Because your energies are used to digest the food. When your energies are used to digest the food, guess what happens? It's all used there that your whole body switches off and you're like, oh, you know what? I need to sleep now. Now think of it this way, if your energies are no longer used to digest the food, then what are your energies used for? That's the point. It's not being used. So it becomes stored energy. Towards this energy center is what we call our manifestation energies, our creator energies. And so when it's not used for digesting food, guess what? Now you've got 10 extra energy. Being able to transmute, we can transmute that energy through meditation towards third eye to visualize our goals and our desires. And when we do that, it becomes 10 times, 100 times, even 1,000 times more powerful. So these are our spiritual conserved powers when it's not used for digesting food. So these are 3 reasons. Hopefully, you guys, before you get into any sort of fasting whatsoever, make sure you do check on your own health, you do consult.
So people that are, obviously in constant evaluation from their doctor because they've got whatever, you got something going on that is way past what any of us can know about, because we don't know you, but you know you. So I would clear it and to say, hey, you're starting this spiritual journey on trying to get into a better space, a better mental space, more clarity, and get in better health. I know it's such a touchy line because to toe, because a lot of healthcare industry people really have been in the last 4 years with all the censorship try to shut down people that are out there like Dr. Mindy and Dr. Berg, and there's so many great doctors who are going against the grain. They're going against what the corporate, doctoral health industry is saying about, how to be able to heal yourself. Like the whole COVID thing. Like, you guys, a big part of catching COVID was a vitamin D deficiency. People were shut down and flagged. I'm talking about doctors, people in general also that were following and listening to their doctors. My actual doctor, who is more of a holistic approach, which is why she's my doctor, she was saying the same thing, but you can't post that up without getting flagged or taken down as propaganda in some weird way that was being said. But it is the truth. It is from doctors all across the world saying the vitamin D deficiency was what was a big part of why people were catching COVID, and you weren't even able to say that. So even my doctor was like, you need vitamin D3, you need zinc, you need vitamin C, and some people need iron. They're very low in iron. They're have anemia and they're anemic. A lot of people are anemic. So it was very interesting at how that whole thing was taking place with doctors saying, look, this is absolute bizarre behavior that we can't tell people and put it out there in the world from our expertise. Like, you guys, just get some vitamin D3 in you. Go take 10,000 units of vitamin D3 each day, and you already increase your health and decrease the risk of getting COVID. But that wasn't allowed to be said. Now we're having more free speech. So it's a beautiful thing because these doctors, like Dr. Mindy, is like, she's like a dog or a horse at the track, ready to get out the gate. Like, I've been trying to scream this from the rooftop and I've been getting flagged and shut down and put in timeout and in, like, YouTube jail for speaking freely on her professional doctor advice. And Dr. Berg too, he's had several videos where it was like duct tape over the mouth. And I've shared several of their videos trying to help people say, hey, you guys can get healthier by just going to your local store and picking up these vitamins. You don't need to get on any kind of prescription drugs. So, long roundabout way of saying, if you bring this up to your doctor, he may or may not be on board with it, but just ask the questions. Am I good enough to go on the spiritual journey? I'm just trying to get healthy. Is it okay with whatever your circumstances? Is it okay if I'm going into intermittent fasting? And maybe even doing like a 24-hour water fast, something like that. That's a good starting point. And then hopefully you have a supportive doctor that's going to do the right thing, not worry about just the kickbacks they're getting on those medicines that they're prescribing. Because I know with my clients, I have gotten so many of them off of all of those prescription drugs. I mean, it would be a plethora of, okay, so this prescription drug is helping this, but now because that prescription drug is creating these other issues, I'm going to have to give you this other prescription drug to counterbalance these other issues from this other drug. It was just like an endless cycle. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, let's sit down and let's do your diagnostics. Let's do your readings. Let's get some blood samples and let's just see where you're at with your vitals and what we can do through fasting, intermittent fasting, and your workout regimen. And most times, there's only been like a few rare cases, but only because those people weren't doing the work. There's all benefit. They were getting almost off all their prescription drugs. Literally, like, from insulin to, pre-diabetic to thriving diabetic to thriving, insulin level so low, like insulin that they have to take so low, getting off, mega doses of heart medication or thyroid thyroid medication or blood pressure medication. I'm bringing my blood pressure down with my hand. Blood pressure medication, just so many things that you can, in fact, fix with doing the fasting. So it's just letting your body learn to heal itself and operate as it was meant to do. And a big part of that is not throwing all those monkey wrenches in, aka processed food filled with toxins, fake processed materials, plastic, metal, pesticides, chemicals, like so much junk, right? And the way that some of my clients turn to, even though I was like, okay, we can do this with our intermittent fasting, you could have X, Y, and Z. I would put in like bone broth with some, kale and maybe some mushrooms or whatever you want, making a nice, I don't know if you've ever gone to like the Japanese steakhouse and they bring out that little bowl of pretty much just like broth with some, noodles and it's just like little pieces of mushrooms in there. But that kind of thing, like, you can have those types of things while you're on, while you're doing your intermittent fasting. And some of my clients are like, I would rather just not eat. And I'm like, perfect. Because now that's inspiring an actual water fast. So you may not want what's on that list that I give you of okayed or cleared things to eat. That's okay, because then you just choose, kind of like my kids when I take all the sweets out of the house. And they're like, well, I just don't want anything. I'm like, okay, fine. Like, you don't want to eat the healthy stuff. That's fine with me. I mean, then just, you're not going to eat, because I'm not putting that processed stuff. There's so many children, they're sick right now. Now, I'm not talking about the flu and that's happening. That happens. I'm talking about with like blood diseases and leukemia and cancer and all kinds of stuff. And I'm sure, because there's no part or history of cancer in my family like this for children, when my daughter got sick and got cancer, I'm sure it had a big part of me eating just like random cakes, and I don't know, or maybe it could have been a part of the drugs they gave me in the hospital that were untested, that I found out that were new drugs they were testing out for pregnant ladies. Like, you just never know the stuff that they're allowed to give to us these days with no bars or jurisdictions around it. Hopefully, this new administration, please, Lord Jesus, just bless them and let them put into fruition the words that they said they would, which is cracking down on the types of foods they are allowed to put on the shelves for us to consume. A lot of these companies, they don't even make the same stuff for Europeans, because for the European markets that they sell to, because it's banned there. It's literally illegal. So what RFK has said is, look, I spent my whole life working on this stuff. This is banned in every other country. I want to help the new administration to make this illegal here too. No pesticides. You have to pass all these tests now. You can't have any of that stuff or you're fined. And then if you're fined even a few times, I think, then they shut the company down. So, Lord, please, we need it. We need it. We don't need all this sickness and all this disease. So, we're going to talk about, Dr. Mindy is on here, and she's going to tell us about the best ways and techniques to get started in fasting. So I've gotten a lot of great knowledge from her. We are going to listen to what she has to say. But yeah, after that, we will, I promise, this is going to be what we're going to go into. So you guys can go ahead and start thinking about it. Start thinking about what it is you want to bring to the table, what type of manifestations you want to come to fruition for your 2025 year, what kind of topics that you can roll around in your head while you're sleeping on it, and the techniques that, we're going to be putting into practice come February 1st. So do stick around for those. Let's go ahead and move into Dr. Mindy, and she is going to explain to us, if you are new to fasting, here are some of the top ways to get into it. And that is not Dr. Mindy. So let's do right here. Welcome to those just.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Robbins. Listen, I'm on my way to the studio and the sun is setting on an opportunity and I don't want you to miss out.
Most of us use food as a state changer. We're having a bad day. Our energy is low. We can't quite think straight. So I'm going to eat food. Dinner tends to be the meal we spend the most time eating. If you're at work, you're going to come home and be like, I'm not eating. And right now I'm hangry. I don't feel great. I'm not eating.
Can anyone relate to that? Anybody?
In my Reset Academy for years, I've said that we use a 3-day water fast, not only to reset ourselves, but to have a self-discovery about what needs our attention. So the example that I've used over the years is that I used a 3-day water fast to heal an Achilles tendon injury. And I tried everything to be able to do that. And I went into this 3-day water fast. On the fourth, I actually continued it on 5 days. On the fourth day or the third day, at the end of the third day, I started to get a little buzz in my Achilles tendon, and I could feel the healing happening in that area. By the fifth day, the pain was gone. The pain has never come back. So these symptoms become like a guide for us to understand what we need to put our attention on. So take note, don't get mad at those symptoms. Other thing that I want you to really take note of is your mind chatter. So I'll give you an example. I'm really the most unlikely person to be teaching fasting because I was the hangry person. I carried around with me all before I found fasting. I was carried snacks with me everywhere I went. If I didn't feel well, I ate. I was raised, and not for my mom, no, to diss my mom, but she taught me if you're having a bad day, eat some food. It's a state.
I mean, honestly though, who doesn't, who can't relate to that? And if you've grown up, you know, and you're in the older, I mean, even today, if you got parents or grandparents that are in your life that, you know, oh, you had a bad day, sit down, let me make you something, let me fix you something hearty and good and yummy to fill your soul and make you feel good inside, you know? Like, oh, even to like little kids, oh, you need an ice cream. Oh, you scraped your knee. You want a popsicle. You want a lollipop. You want an ice cream. You know, it's like always relating to food, right? Food makes you feel good. Food gives you that sense of euphoria, and it, you know, satisfies an emptiness for about 15 minutes. Once it releases that good dopamine and gets you that little rush of happiness and euphoria. But then what? But then what? Right? Is that little shot of adrenaline, if you will, for 15 minutes worth all the hate, shame, and bad feelings of not just mental feelings of, you know, hating and shaming yourself, or, you know, breaking in and giving into the sweet or the yummy thing, but also what it physically does to your body, your insides, and catering to cancers and inflammation and clogging arteries and all the bad things it is actually doing to your body. Is it worth it? And at the end of the day, or do you think, hey, if I can say no to that and find another way to make me feel good about, maybe I'm going to go outside and take a walk. Maybe I'm going to look, I need to water my plants anyway. Finding something else to do to take your mind off of it, that'll give you some sense of euphoria and happiness. In the end of the day, you'll feel so much more empowered, right? Don't you think? Like, wow, normally I would have broken and shown my weakness right on my shoulder. I would have worn it like a badge, but I didn't. Now I'm wearing a cape like a superhero because I was in control of what I did. I stayed in control and I didn't let my emotional eating take over. Then you feel like, whoa, what else can I do? You feel so proud. And that dopamine lasts way longer than that 15 minutes of dopamine from something that's about to tear your body apart on the inside, right? I mean, kind of once you hit it, once it hits like that, it hits differently, right? As my teenagers say, that hits different when you say it like that.
Changer. So I had this really, what I would consider a dysfunctional relationship with food. But I looked at food as a state changer. This part is really important for all of you. We all, if you're really honest, I would say most of us use food as a state changer. We're having a bad day. Our energy is low. We can't quite think straight. I got to do something to change this place I'm in. So I'm going to eat food to be able to change the course of what my mind is saying to me right now. Now, when I came to fasting, that was really hard because the first time I started to fast, when I was feeling low, maybe a little depressed, when I was feeling like I couldn't, I needed something to break up the monotony of the day, or I was feeling a little bit of dip in energy, I didn't have food as that resource anymore. But what I learned in that was a whole other set of tools that there is no way I would have found if I hadn't put myself in that fasted state. I learned, oh my gosh, you know what else changes my state is if I go for a walk. If I get out in the sun, I go for a 10-minute walk, all of a sudden my brain changes. I also learned, oh my gosh, if I put good music on, or I call a friend, or I take a nap, there's a lot of you are going to want to just take a nap. And I found a whole nother set of tools that I could use to change the mental chatter. I want you to
Yeah, and that part is huge, you guys. Like, it really is literally changing your whole mindset, right? So if since a child you've been offered things, the way to soothe yourself is by food, with candies and ice creams and lollipops and cookies, and grandma's making pies, and your favorite meal, biscuits and gravy, if you will, your country like me. I it's a mindset, and you've lived your whole life thinking one way. So it is a difficult task. It's yes, it's free to do, and the steps are simple, but it's not easy if that's the way that you spent your whole life living your life. It's not I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh yeah, it's easy to do. Just do it." No, you're changing your mindset. You got to change your mindset to say, "I don't want to be the thing that's been plaguing me is this same thing. I can't expect to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. I have to change it within me, and I have to see the positive benefits of what that is, what that looks like for me, and give it a go and put it in motion." And I'm telling you right now, when I first started doing the intermittent fasting, my husband started doing the intermittent fasting, and people around me, my sister started doing intermittent fasting, we all were just like in awe of how much better our lives were internally to make your life so much better externally. And by that, I mean, your ailments are gone. So now you feel like doing more. Your energy levels are up. So now you feel like getting out there and doing something. Your clarity is back. People that have like bipolar, or you've got depression or manic depressant or whatever, now those symptoms start subsiding, and you find yourself more happy than you are moody. It's really so incredible. I can't even talk about it enough. And it is free to do. That is the most beautiful part of it. It is free to do. It's free. And not only free, it saves you money, because now you're not eating all the time. So you save so much money. Like, we were going over our financials, and we were like, wow, we saved so much money when we started intermittent fasting. And, the kids were getting behind supporting us and being like, wow, because I'm sure they saw, hey, it's like, we're going and doing more things, because now you're not exhausted at the end of the day. And who doesn't want to feel that? Now we're sleeping heavier at night. And my husband, who snores so ridiculous, he stopped snoring like that. It was amazing, because the inflammation inside of the ears, nose, and throat that you get from eating poorly, the inflammation was gone. So he wasn't having the same symptoms when he was going to sleep. So he was getting deeper sleep. I mean, it's incredible on all fronts, and there's no way for you to actually understand the words until you try it yourself. And what she's doing is helping break down, and what I do with my clients is breaking down, where do you start? How long do you do it for? And that whole thing, because some people have never even heard of intermittent fasting. They've never heard of water fasting. They're not quite sure of what it all means or what it all does. So that's what we're here to talk about. We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to roll into the long awaited, the book that we're going to start on the manifestation of your greatness for 2025. And we're going to talk about what does that look like, and kind of getting your mind going around and discovering that for yourself again. Because some of you guys have lost that. You lost touch with what were those things that you once used to dream of? What were those goals you once had for yourself? So, we're not starting till February 1st. It's a 28-day process. And I thought, what perfect timing because of the days in that month. So listen up, write things down. If you have to go back and watch this, it's going to be in my live streams or it's on my YouTube channel. If you haven't already subscribed or notified, please do go to YouTube. You have to put the @ symbol. It's at Cara Chris TV and subscribe there so you get notified when I go live, but also when we're going to do updates on starting out this journey, all kinds of stuff. I put recipes up there, talk about intermittent fasting, all types of things. But for the podcast, you can go under Behind the Layers podcast on my YouTube channel, and you can watch the stream again. And any videos I show on here is under my playlist on YouTube. And the playlist, the very first playlist is podcast info vids. And that's where I put all my videos that I show here on the stream. So you guys can go back and get the information again and fact check anything you want to. There's nothing that I put up that I don't wholeheartedly 1,000,000% believe in. Know the person that I've, been following. I've done deep dives on them and their expertise and where they come from. And so that the information that I'm posting up is going to be something that I feel tried and true in. And so that's where you can go for that. If you guys are following me, whatever platform you're following, sharing is caring. If you have anybody in your life that could use a little guidance, a little motivation, and just don't know where to start, please do share my channel with them. I'm on X is Cara C Live or Behind the Layers with a Z. I'm on TikTok at Cara Chris TV, Instagram at Cara Chris TV, Facebook, and YouTube is all Cara Chris TV. So I feel like I'm forgetting one, but anyway, if you like the stream, please do show some love right there and support the channel. I do appreciate the time. This has been a long time dream of mine. If you're on X or TikTok, you guys know how to do the gifting. And on X, there's a little thing on the main profile. It's like 2 little rectangles at the top. It's called the tip jar. So I do appreciate you guys that have already supported the stream and showed some love. I really do appreciate all the time I do off the camera to help discover the best techniques and the best things for you to help you living your best life from the inside out. I do share all of that here for free for you guys. And I put a lot of time in it on the back end before I even go live to make sure I'm giving you quality information that you guys can actually benefit from. So I do appreciate all of you that have shown me some love and supporting the stream. I'm very, very grateful. Okay, so let's go in. We're learning about the best techniques if you are just starting out in your fasting journey and how learning these things can actually help boost and benefit when we start doing the 28 days starting on February 1st, how it can actually boost that whole experience for you into coming into fruition even quicker and helping you manifest your greatness in 2025. So here's how she's saying we're going to break down how to start it out. A lot of you don't even know where you would even begin. Unless you were one of my clients, then of course I would guide you through that. And if you want me to do that for you, please do reach out to me. My email address is christensenfit. It's CHRISTENSEN. It's like it's Scandinavian Christensen fit FIT at gmail.com. You guys want me to help you on a personal level, guide you through, I will gladly help you do that. So here we go. This is what Dr. Mindy has to say.
To really observe, what is my body saying to me? Because that might give me some indication as to what I need to focus on for healing. But what are my thoughts? And typically what they say on the day before, or some of you have jumped in, is that they will say, the thoughts will be like, what are you doing? Why'd you sign up for this? Is this safe? Oh my God, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Am I capable of doing this? There's going to be a lot of mind chatter. And the first day, you're going to be excited and like, okay, here we go. This is going to be good. And then maybe by the noon, the first day, when you skip lunch, you might be like, okay, I got this. This isn't bad. And then you get to dinner and you're like, oh, whoa, this is harder than I thought.
It's true.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do 3 days. And then you
Uh-huh.
wake up the next morning and the brain's like still talking to you and trying to steer you off course.
It does
Take
do that.
note of what your mind is saying to you. For me, when I first started doing a 3-day water fast, that's when I got a hold of, oh my God, and this is full transparency. I was raised in a very loving household where if I was having a bad day, I had this loving mother that made me a meal and she would sit down and she would eat the meal with me. And now I had equated food with that unconditional mother's love.
Yeah.
And as wonderful as that was, I wanted to change my relationship to food. I didn't want to see food as a source of love. It's a source of healing that can happen. And we'll talk about that at the later part of the week. But I didn't want to have this emotional attachment to food. And the only way I discovered that was by putting myself into a fasted state and listening to the mind chatter. And there was all kinds of things that first day. It was like, you're going to lose energy. You can't do this. You're hypoglycemic, because that's what the messaging I had was, I'm a hypoglycemic person that gets hangry without food.
Is that something you guys can resonate with? Can you resonate with what she's saying? Like, trust me, anytime I've brought up to some of my more overweight, borderline diabetic clients, the fact of omitting food from their day on a daily basis, I don't care. I do care about the type and quality of food, but at the beginning, it's not about changing your food at all. It's just about omitting how much you're eating and omitting some of the food that you're having. So, like, for instance, here in the South, sweet tea is a big thing. Omitting the sweet tea. You want tea? Have the tea at your house, brew your own tea, but do not put that devil's sugar in there that causes and is literally linked to every single type of cancer. The big white bag of granule sugar, that stuff, you can get on sale so many times. The monk fruit or the cane sugar, even raw cane sugar, monk fruit or stevia, which are all natural. Your body can synthesize it, no problemo, right? You can get those on sale. They go on sale all the time. The factories put them on sale. The companies who they go on, I only buy them when they're on sale. I'll buy the big bag and that will last. You want to make your tea, you love your tea, have your tea with that. It's just changing your habits, changing the way. You don't have to take all this stuff out of your life. We're just shrinking it down. So you're only going to be eating from, let's say you eat your first meal at, I don't know, what is your time? 8 o'clock in the morning. And then you're going to have your last meal at 6 p.m. at night. That does not sound too asinine, right? And then maybe I'm going to say, you know what? Do you have to eat at 8 o'clock in the morning? Can you wait until 9 and then having your last meal at 6 o'clock? That's how the schedule goes. That's how it starts. That's how you get into the flow of things. It's not so much about taking all the things away and there's this big drastic change and then you're feeling overwhelmed and then you're going to go back to how you were doing things anyway because you're like, I just can't do this. And no, that just sets you up for failure. I'm all about those little tiny feats to reaching those big rewards. That is the method. That is the tried and true technique that has worked literally with all my clients because it's not overwhelming. You don't feel like you're standing at the bottom of Mount Everest looking up like, oh my gosh, I got such a long way to go and it's going to be daunting. No, you're just staring at a little molehill and like, oh, I got that. And then before you know it, you look back and you're standing at the top of Everest going, holy crap, I just did that. Like I did that. Look at me now. Look at how I'm feeling. You feel like that. You feel like You have reached the peak of Machu Picchu and you didn't even know it. You thought you were climbing up a little hill. That's the space that you want to be in. That's the place. That's the approach you want to take, because that approach equals success every time. But it only gets there if you do like what she's saying. You got to quiet out the noise. In the beginning, your body's going to, your mind, not your body, because if you can look down, this is the test I tell my clients. If you can look down and your body has plenty of food to eat, meaning you've got layers on layers, you got plenty of kush, like you're not going to die in surviving on the island in the next month, because you got plenty to eat off of. If you can look down and see that, you got to override your mind to say, actually, I'm good. I do not need a snack. I do not need to eat, because my body's got plenty it can munch on right now. What I need to do is to quiet that voice in my head and go do something else productive that's going to make me feel good and empowered. That is going to be like, okay, now I know. Now I'm starting a habit of learning that I don't need food to fix the emotion inside, or I don't need food when I'm actually not even hungry. What I do need to do is to get some of these things tackled off this list, or maybe I had this little hobby thing I started, and maybe I'm going to go work on that a little bit. And those are the techniques now that you're going to find are going to make you feel good, because when you do that instead of eating, that's so powerful. And what it unlocks in your mind, that dopamine of like, woo, the surge of like, let's go. I would have normally been so weak right there and ate those chips, but I didn't. Instead, I went and did something else. And now I'm feeling so much better and so much more empowered with myself, that I took control of the situation and not my stomach, or not my mind in my stomach trying to tell me what I need to have. I'm telling you, it is a feeling that you're only going to understand and grasp when you've done it yourself. It sounds so crazy to even be thinking about, oh, I'm going to feel like freaking Superman or Superwoman because I didn't have snacks all day today. But it is true. When you are used to living that life, being about that life, where you're just constantly feeding your body and snacking, and then you're tired and you're lethargic and you got all these ailments and all that stuff, and you start making those little changes, those little tiny tweaks in your day, like, you know what? I actually don't need that snack. You cut that snack out. Actually, I'm not even hungry 8 o'clock this morning. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till 9 or 10. Now you're pushing your eating window back. You're giving your body more time to process what it already has, to feed off of the stored fat and the stored fuel you already have. Now you're starting to lose some weight. You're starting to get a little clearer in your mind. You're starting to get more energy back. You're starting to sleep a little deeper. It's so beautiful, you guys, and it's free to do. And not only that, you save money, because now you're not buying all these snacks and all this stuff that you're constantly having. It's just changing your way that you approach your needs in your life, and knowing, hey, that food is not helping me out. Look where it's got me now. Maybe you got some kind of other ailments. Maybe your blood pressure's up now because you're eating all this crap and it's got so much sodium in it and all this sugar, refined sugar, and your insulin levels are up. And now you're like pre-diabetic, or you're diabetic now. I mean, all the things. I've had all the clients across the board. I'm telling you right now, if they can do it, you can do it. Anytime I suggest, okay, we're working out 4 days a week, and I suggest, look, your scale's not moving because 80% is not what we're doing here in the gym. It's what you're putting in your mouth at home. 80%. I didn't say 8% or 18%. 80%. That number is huge. You can work out every day. But if you're eating nonstop on the other side, you're not going to see the results. It's wild. I still, as a trainer and a nutritionist, it still blows my mind that that's the case. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, 80%, even though you could train and train and train and train and train and train, if you're just spending the rest of your day outside of that hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes training, you're spending the rest of your day eating, your body can't keep up. Now it's trying to heal from your training, and now you got to processing all this food. There's not enough time for your body to fix all of the crap you got going on inside. So it comes down to something simple as this. You start with shrinking the window. What I mean by that is shrinking the window of eating. If you wake up in the morning and you're not hungry, don't eat. You don't need to. And you can tell your brain, I don't need to eat. And some of you may be on medications that says, take this with food. So you take it when you eat your food. So you're not eating at 7 or 8 or 9. Maybe you're not even hungry until lunchtime. Perfect. So you have your lunch, you take your medications, and then you whatever. Eventually, prayerfully, you're going to wean yourself off of that toxic crap, just like I've done with my clients. I'm not here to be your doctor and tell you that that's the case. I'm just giving you the situations that I've had with my clients and saying, look, you don't need all that crap. You don't need to be on all of that stuff. All of that stuff is killing your organs on the inside. Let's start with intermittent fasting, and this is how we're going to do it. And I'll start with, okay, you eat your first meal, but can you have your last meal 10 hours later? Like, can we do that and maybe a lunch if you have to keep a snack because you think you have to keep a snack? I start it slow. I don't throw everything in the kitchen sink in there. Just start it by, I don't even take any of the types of food you're eating out. I just say, shrink that window. We're going to eat in a 10-hour window for the first part of this week. And then we're going to shrink that to 9-hour window. So whether it be, actually, you don't even need to eat that late at night. Let's stop it at 6 instead of 7, or maybe you don't need to eat that early in the morning, and let's push that time back. So it'll go from 10 hours to 9 hours, 8 hours, and then that's a good resting place, that 8 hours. Go into 7 hours. If you really want to get into that real deep journey within yourself, that real biological reset, that biodome, that metabolic reset, the whole gut system, everything inside resetting, that's that 3-day fast. But we got to work our way there. You don't just jump into that. You work your way, we work our way there. But that is such a beautiful space to be. Those 19-hour fasts, oh my gosh, you guys. Gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Hey, Bo. Hey, welcome. So let's get into, I'm going to let her finish what she's saying about how you start your fasting journey. That's just my take on it with my clients. Give it a go. First week, you want to shrink that one into 10 hours. Don't talk about what you're eating. We're just going to scooch it into 10 hours. Then we're going to go to 9 hours. And what you're going to see happening is you are going to want to. You're on your own. You're going to be inspired to be like, you know what? I really don't need that snack. I'm not really hungry. You're becoming aware of your body and aware of what you actually need. And a lot of us, we have never done that. You've never put your emphasis on just being aware of yourself, your mind, your physical in the moment. No, you just kind of grind on through the days and moving through the motions and doing what you normally do, and then gaining weight and feeling, you just get used to feeling tired and feeling lethargic and having all that weight on you and feeling cloudy. You get used to it because you're just grinding along, and you think to not have that feeling, you have to go through this grueling transformation of your body and working out at the gym and get a gym membership and all of these things that you have to do to not have that feeling anymore. And that's not the case. That's not true. It literally is so simple as just stop eating so much. I mean, mic drop. Like, it's that simple. And these doctors have been trying to shout it from the rooftops and getting censored over it, because a lot of doctors don't want you to fix yourself. They don't want your body to heal. They don't want you to get off that blood pressure medicine and get off your insulin. And they don't want that. They get the freaking kickbacks. Are you kidding me? They don't want that. But the good doctors out there, they want you to succeed without being on all these medications and seeing you suffering and in pain. They want to see that for you. Those good doctors, these are the good doctors. They want to shout it from the rooftops and say, this information is free and it's going to save you money and time and pain and all of the things that you want to be in. That's the space you want to be in. Those are the people you want to listen to. And no one's going to know it but you when you try it yourself. Like all my naysaying clients, I would be like, oh, I could never do that. I could never take food, like emit food. I need my snacks. I need my nighttime snacking. I need. No, you don't. You're about 100 pounds over your optimal weight and you're feeling tired and you're hired me for a reason. Let's give it a go. And anytime they finally submit and they say, all right, because all I say is, give me 5 days. You've been putting your body through this torture for 20 years. Give me 5 days. And at the end of the 5 days, if you haven't felt or seen a major difference in not just the way that you look, the way that you feel, the way that your spirit, your energy, your sleep, all of that, by the end of the 5 days, almost 99 point, I'd say 5% of the time, by the end of that 5 days, they want to complete out the rest of the week. If I can get that 5-day commitment, and all I'm doing, remember, is shrinking the window, saying, today you're going to start your first meal, and then your last meal is going to be within 10 hours. You got 10 hours. That's a lot of time to eat the food you want to eat. And after that, you're not going to eat anymore until the next day. Can we do that? And that's it. And a lot of times I'll say, if you want to really give yourself a bonus, take out any sugary thing you're having, whether it's cookies, whether it's the drinks that you're having, and that includes juice. Take out any of that stuff. If you haven't lost 7 to, depending on how strict you are, 7 to 12 pounds in that first week, you didn't do something right. That is how quickly your body wants to feed off that what you already have, change it all up, start getting that time to work on all of your ailments. And if you haven't had better night's sleep, and if you haven't had people that have like night pains in their legs and their calves, if that hasn't subsided, got arthritis pains in their fingers or their back's always hurting, if that hasn't subsided, sciatica that's always acting up, if that hasn't subsided after that first week and gotten less than it normally is, I don't know what else can inspire you on doing it, right? So all of the clients that have ever said, okay, I'm going to give it a go, 100% have been in the best shape, have been in the best mental state, have been the clearest, the most focused, the most energetic. And I'm talking about across the board, up till 85, I think was my oldest client, across the board in age and all the ailments that you can think of. The gout, the the gout, the cerebral palsy I've had people with no gallbladder, no thyroid, type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetic, literally, I mean, the list is exponential. So many high blood pressures, so many erratic heartbeats, heart problems, heart this, heart like doing full out high intensity interval training burpees and like going at it in their 60s. If that's not a true testament to the good work of what your body is capable of just by taking the food out, I don't really know what else is. Like, you have to try it. You never know until you give it a go. You just never know until you give it a go. But I can see why these doctors get so frustrated when they're trying to be like, look, you guys, it's my medical expertise. I'm trying to tell you, study the body and the way that things work in there, my whole, adult life, and trying to tell you this is where it's at. And, you never know till you give it a go. Especially now that they're able to speak freely on it, it's a beautiful thing. And I hope that there are people out there that actually need to hear this and they're listening and they want to put it to the test and see for themselves, because it's so beautiful. You can't make it up. I mean, it's your body is so intricate and so beautifully designed, and it's magnificent when you let it operate the way that it needs to without putting all that trash in there. And also, a little pro tip before I put the video back. When you have all that garbage in your house at the ready to grab and shove it down the old pipe hole, come on. Of course, it's going to be easier for you to go back down that road and take that route when it's so readily available. Get it out. When in doubt, if it's good for you, throw it out. You don't have to throw it out. You can pass it along. You see people on the street that need something, that you just need some food in their body. You want to make little love bags, is what I call it to my children. We put water and little stuff in there. You want to make a little love bag, pass them out, do so. Don't put that crap. If you are trying to get, like they say in the airplane, you guys, put your mask on first before helping others. Why? Because if you're dead, if you're down, you can't help anybody else. You got to take care of yourself. You have to show some self-care. And the way to do that is by taking care of yourself in the particularly right way. So, you guys, take out all that crap out of your pantry and cut up some fresh fruit, maybe some celery sticks, maybe dip it in peanut butter, make little ant logs, as we used to call them. We would put the peanut butter down the celery stick and line it up with some raisins and make little fun treats. There's a plethora. This is the world of social media where you can go on and literally find 1,000,001 different healthy, creative snack ideas. You could put keto, you could put gluten-free, you could put whatever it is that your heart desires in there. And you can find so many cool ideas, but you have to prepare. You got to prepare those snacks and let them be ready for you. As soon as I come home from the grocery store, I wash all the fruit. I have it all ready to roll. I cut up any of the things like that, like celery, carrots, carrot sticks, whatever. I have all that stuff cut and ready to grab because it's easier to do when you have it cut and ready to go. You'll see a lot of these people that do post up videos. I have them posted up. If you have it prepared and ready to grab, then it's less daunting, right? Like, let's say, okay, I've got these chips and I got these other things in the pantry, cookies, or I can just grab real quick, or I can have to spend the next 10 minutes washing this, cutting it up, and blah, blah, blah. It's a lazy mentality, right? So if you go ahead and get all of that stuff prepared for yourself, first thing, wash it all up, put it in containers in your refrigerator, ready to grab, whether it's berries or whatever kind of fruit, or you're cutting up that celery, or you got some cucumbers cut up and, residing in, like I like to put the apple cider vinegar and olive oil on it with some salt and pepper. Have that stuff on the ready to grab and snack on. More like a Mediterranean Greek. You can have some olives in there, maybe some cut up cheese, stuff like that, ready to go. And then that's it. You grab that. Don't even keep those cookies and stuff. You know it's going to get eaten. My husband brought home some freaking chocolate chip cookies the other day because they were on sale. Don't do it. It's the sale to buy yourself a whole lot of something you don't want. A whole lot of something on the inside that you don't want. So don't do it. Just because it's on sale doesn't mean you need to go grab it. How? Hi. Thank you, by the way. That's very sweet. Thank you. Thank you. I always will love a compliment. I appreciate it. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the rest of what she's talking about, how you get started, even though I probably just covered most of that. But shrinking your window, getting ready to prepare yourself mentally for the February 1st 28-day manifestation. We're going to talk about that in a second. I promise. But the fasting is a big part of that. You really want to give it a hyper boost. Maybe you're like clouded still. You don't really know what it is you want to manifest. Your mind is just all over the place. The fasting really helps you quiet out all the noise and focus. It's beautiful. Really, truly. Here we go.
And that's in my genetics. And so I had an opportunity to really undo those negative beliefs that I had around food. So you have that opportunity too. So make sure that you're not just dismissing the thoughts that are going to come up over the next couple of days, but that you're using them as an opportunity to get to know your body, your limiting beliefs,
Awareness.
and get to know really what the relationship to food is for you. So massively important. Now, when we look at what happens over 3 days, I'm going to give you a general idea. And you just, everybody's different. I almost don't want to give you this idea because I don't want you to think, I don't want any placebo effect. I don't want you to think this is going to happen to you because everybody is different. So please know that. But the general way that a 3-day water fast works is that you come out of the gates the first day and you're excited, just like I said. And if you fasted before, intermittent fasted before, you're like, this isn't as hard as I thought it would be. Usually by the time you get to dinner that first night, that's where the mental chatter kicks in, because dinner tends to be the meal we spend the most time preparing, the most time eating. If you're at work, you're going to come home and be like, I'm not eating. And right now I'm hangry. I don't feel great. I'm not eating. So the first pivotal moment will be dinner on the first day that you are going to skip. So a couple of thoughts if that happens to you. First, watch a show, watch a movie. I'll tell you what I've gotten really into is listening to comedians at night. I feel like it's a beautiful state changer to just laugh and get your mind off the day. And in a fasted state, it's even better because if you're laughing, you're increasing oxytocin. If you're increasing oxytocin, you bring cortisol down and you make yourself more insulin sensitive. So if you get to dinner tomorrow night and you're suffering, put a comedian on, put a show on, get your mind off of it. The other thing that I've noticed is that I often go to bed a whole lot earlier. So it's okay to go to sleep and just get your head out of the game. And no, I want you to sort of separate that part out of you that's chattering at you and maybe telling you, how are you going to do this? If you feel like this on the first day, how are you going to be able to make it 2 or 3 days?
Noise.
So if that shows up, I want you to put that little thought in a bubble and pull it out of you, because here's what you need to know. Your body knows exactly what to do. This is not a game of doubt the body. This is a game of pull the mindset and the mind chatter out so the body can do what it's meant to do. That's what I tried to explain in Fast Like a Girl, is that when we put ourselves in these healing states.
If you're an artist like me, you know how daunting a blank page can be. So when it comes to starting a business,
we are honoring the intelligence of the body, and your body has got this.
Okay, have you been watching my videos and you're like, I don't know how to put this stuff all together?
When we hit that first day and the negative thoughts come up around dinner, have a go-to statement. You've got this. I trust you. I'm so excited to watch all the healing you're going to perform. Say positive things to yourself and go to sleep. Sleeping.
That's true though. So that comes down to the manifesting part, right? So it's like power of positive thought. Instead of like your mind getting negative and going to that negative space, you are learning how to reinvent the wheel up there and saying, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm not listening to you. You don't guide me. Your mind does not always guide you in the right direction. You have to speak with your other. Now they always say like the devil and the angel. You got to shut the devil down, and you got to let that angel have her beautiful whisper voice get louder and louder and saying, no, you're going to focus on something great. this is going to be beautiful. My body, I'm going to give you this space to heal. I'm giving you time to do your healing work. Talk to your body like that. When the doubts start setting in, I'm hungry, I need to have a snack, I need to eat right now. No, you don't. No, you don't. Talk to your body in the way of like, look, I'm about to give you all this beautiful space. Get to work. Show me what you're made of. Show me the money. Show me what you're made of inside. Show me all that healing power you have. Show me all of those beautiful things you're about to do for me. Show me what you're made of. And when you empower your mind to speak to your body that way and giving your mind that space, your body that space to heal and do all the things, it is so incredible what it truly is capable of. And you watch it in real time and you feel it, and you can literally feel it happening. Like I told you, by hour 19, which doesn't sound like a lot if you've a faster, you've done fasting, if you go to bed at 7, if you eat your dinner at 7 and you're going to bed at like 9, right? I'm giving you a schedule that I've put my clients on. You eat your last meal at 7. You started your meal at 10. You eat your last meal at 7. You go to bed by 9. Then when you're going to bed by 9, you're shutting it down, shutting your brain down, your mind down. You're sleeping on all the manifestations that you're doing. And then you're not eating until 5 p.m. the next day. When you hit around that time frame, that 19th hour, you won't even believe how your mind is firing on all cylinders, how incredible you feel that you did it, how beautiful your energy is, how impressive your state of mind is, and all of the focus you have, all the things that are happening. And then you're waiting. Oh, usually I get home at this time, my back's usually killing me and all the things. And then you're noticing, wow, those pains are gone. They're not even existing right now. What's happening? You really become aware. You have to stay aware through all the stages of that fast so you can actually understand and know what that means, like what it looks like on the inside. What does it feel like on the inside of that 18th hour, that 19th hour? And then at that point, you're like, okay, I'm going to have a little meal. You're so full so quickly because your stomach has shrunk, right? So you're just eating a little meal and then you're ready to go to bed. Usually after you eat that meal, your body is kind of going into like a sleep state in the beginning when you first start out. So once you get to that space, you're ready to go to sleep. So you go through, you eat your meal, and you're full and you're satisfied, and then you get a good night's rest, a rest that you probably haven't had in a really long time. And then you wake up in the morning and you're like, whoa, this is like, how do I have this much focus? How am I ready to get out of bed and have this much energy? How am I able to have all of this clarity and like literally you're so focused. You're not like, oh, where did I put this? You're just like firing on all cylinders. I don't know how else to put that. But you are in such a space and you're so aware. Now you can go through your second day and be like, okay, so this is what this feels like after, hitting 14 hours without food. And this is what it feels like after 19. Am I really even hungry? Do I really need to eat this dinner right now? How about let me just try and push it a little bit further? And maybe you make it to bedtime and you're like, I'm going to go to bed a little bit early tonight. And I'm going to wake up and boom, before you know it, that was it. You just had a full 24-hour fast. And now you're like, whoa, what is this surge of energy and the dopamine and the euphoria feeling and all of the now you're at work and now you're like, whoa, okay, this is all right. I'm banging out tasks like this and the things I couldn't figure out or get past before. Now I'm like over the top with how my efficiency at work and how things are coming into play. And now your energy is different. Your mindset's different. So now you're putting off all that positive energy and that positive space that you're creating around you. And now more positive things are happening. Now you're getting viewed differently. Now someone's like, wow, you look different. You've not just like, oh, because you lost a few lbs in the midst, or maybe your fingers were always swollen and now they're not swollen anymore because your body's getting rid of all that junk, all those toxins inside, because now you're giving it all this time to heal and fix all those problems inside. You're like, I'm feeling great because I don't have my back pain anymore. I'm feeling great because look at my fingers. I couldn't bend them like this before. My arthritis is like subsiding. Maybe you had knee problems. You're like, wow, I'm getting up and down out of my chair with no problem. All of the things, my sciatica, I got to sleep without restless leg syndrome last night. Like all of these things are such a true testament, and you get to live that in real time. And when you start becoming aware of how it's affecting your mind and your body, that's the awareness you have to bring into the manifestation that is going to take place in February when we start that 28-day manifestation of whatever the greatness you see for yourself in 2025. So manifesting is being aware. You have to be spatially aware of yourself, your surroundings, and the intent that you're doing everything with. So by omitting the snacks that you were going to put in or drinking that soda, you're like, you know what? I'm going to cut that out for this next 5 days and see, how I feel at the end of that. When you do that and then you go back, this has happened to a few of my clients that were really addicted to soda. They went back after the 5 days because I say, give me that 5-day commitment. If you can hit that 5 day, then you want to do more days. They take that first sip of soda when they're like, all right, oh, I can't wait. I've been 5 days. I did it. I'm so excited to have it. And that's going to be the reward. I'm always like, go for it. You want that reward? That's your reward. Take it in. Almost every time they're like, well, there's been one time we're like, oh, I felt so good. But then they felt so bad after because their stomach was all torn up from all that processed sugar in there. But one of my clients was like, that was the absolute, I could taste the syrup. Like she was like, it was so gross. And she never went back. And she replaced it with other like flavored waters and stuff that were healthier, but also because she liked the way she felt without it in her life. She liked the way her body was operating. She liked the way that she didn't feel right? The ick. She didn't have the ick anymore. And she loved the energy level she had, and she didn't want to do anything to ruin that. So it's hits different when you're doing it, when you're actually living it and you're giving it a go and you're seeing it in real time. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Let me see if she has anything else.
Is phenomenal to do because now you're healing when you're sleeping, you're healing when you're fasting. It's a beautiful combination.
All that.
Now, this is what happens at night in a fasted state. You have two fuel sources for the brain. You have glucose, which is a fancy term for sugar. You have ketones. So your brain needs both of those. When you are sleeping, your brain is healing and your brain is figuring out how to get all the organs in your body to heal. This is the captain of the ship. So in order to keep your brain working at its best, you've got these ketones that maybe you've never experienced before. So that's going to heal the brain. But somewhere around 2 to 3 in the morning, usually the body will release stored sugar. We call that glycogen. And so glycogen is sugar that your body has packed away, and it has packed it away in 3 areas. It has put it in fat. So you start to burn fat. It has put it in the liver, and it has put it in muscles. So as you're sleeping, your body, as it senses the blood sugar going down, it senses that you've switched over into this fat burning place, it starts to access the glucose that it has stored years ago. For those of you that are looking to lose weight, this is where it's magic, because the body goes and finds that in the fat. It knows how to go get it and burn it because it's so intelligent.
That in that part is wild, right? Like the body is so intelligent. Just like she said, it is wild that your body has, because how our bodies are made to do is feast and famine, store up the fat. That's why we store fat, because our bodies are made to store that fat so that our bodies can stay alive and feed on it when there's no food around. Because We weren't meant to just have an endless abundance of food at all times at any given time. I mean, now look, oh my gosh, now we got DoorDash and, Uber Eats. So you can literally get food anytime if it's in your area, of course. Our bodies weren't meant for that. So all of those things can be stored for years and years. And then what she's saying, it's not going to take years and years for your body to get rid of it. As soon as you give it that time, whether it be a day, 2 days without eating, 3 days, or you're just doing intermittent fasting, as soon as you give it any time to go tackle all that stuff it had been storing, all that stuff it put in the tanks, as soon as you give it that time, it's gonna go for it. It's like, hey, I know where all that stored stuff is. I know where the stored pantries of fat are. I'm gonna go and take care of that. We good? You're not gonna put any more food in here, right? Because I'm gonna go handle some of that. Is that we straight? Give it that chance. Give it that time to do it and watch it work. And people are like, and your mind is your worst enemy, because your mind is going to tell you, nope, I need to have that food. Nope, I need a snack. Oh, I'm feeling so low and so down. I need to eat. No, you don't. I'm here to tell you, every single hundreds of clients, thousands at this point that I have been a part of their lives and their journey. No, you don't. Let your body show you what it's made of. Let it show you what it's made of by taking that food out. Remember, we're talking about rolling into 3-day fast. This isn't how I started. I started in the intermittent fasting for those of you that have just joined. Intermittent fasting and just shrinking that window. But when you're ready to come to the spot where you're ready to give your full system a reboot, and that's a 3-day fast, everything in your body is reset. Everything. I'm talking about your gut, your liver, all your organs, your biodome, everything, your metabolism, the way that your everything functions, all the way up to the brain. You got freaking depression, manic depressant, bipolarism, all that stuff. You got all the ailments in your body, all the things you got going on. It all gets a reset. You are more balanced, more focused, more energy, more clarity than ever before. You can actually think clearer on what is it that you want out of life. Where are you going? What are you doing with yourself? What are you doing? Like, that's the part that leads into this manifestation that we're coming up in February. We're going to do free of charge, you guys. This is all about focusing on you, your health, and getting what you want out of 2025 and making this your year. And it's all free to do. Literally so free to do this, and your body will thank you. Your mind will thank you. You will be thinking so clear and have so much energy, be sleeping so well, and be looking so good and be feeling so right. You're going to step with a different stride. You're going to come out with your shoulders back, and you're going to hold your head high. It's been a long time for some of you that have done, since you've done that. You're going to know exactly, hey, remember I used to want to do this. I'm going to do it, because I'm feeling good now. I don't have all these pains and these aches and all this stuff. I've lost some weight. I've got some energy going. I've got so many positive things going on in my life. You're going to exude what you always dreamt your life would be. And that is the part of this. That's the space. That's the place you want to be in when you're starting this journey in February with us as a group. That's the space you want to be in. You want to be in that clear space. So go ahead and get on the intermittent fasting journey for right now. Get on that where you're going to shrink your window. You're going to 10 hours. You're going to eat your stuff in 10 hours. Ideally, by the end of this month, you want to be down to an 8-hour window where the very first meal you put in your mouth to the very last meal, that's 8 hours in between. And give your body the rest of the time to focus on healing. And once you do, the power unleashed, you guys, is so beautiful. You're going to save some money. You're going to be feeling right. You're going to be weaning yourself with your doctor, of course, if you are constantly monitored because you have a lot of prescriptions that you take. but you're going to get on the journey of weaning yourself off of those with your doctor. You're going to be like, I'm done. I'm done with this life of pain and holding me down and getting in this space. I'm living, I'm breathing, I'm capable. Let's go. This is my year and I'm done with that person. I don't want to be that person anymore. I want to feel good. I want to live the life that I have right now because I'm here right now. Let's live that life, the best life you can live from the inside out. So let's talk about this book because I just realized we're running out of time. Okay, so on February 1st, there's 28 days in February. This book demands 28 days of this focus, right? This book is called The Magic. The original book is The Secret, and that's the emblem right there, The Secret. First, if you guys want to continue with that, Dr. Mindy, every video that I show here on the podcast is going to be on my YouTube channel. If you haven't already gone there or whatever platform you're watching this on, if you want to subscribe, please do. Sharing is caring. Anybody that needs some guidance or just anybody that gives them direction and help motivate them to living their best life from the inside out, their best life from the inside out. This is the channel for them. Please do like and subscribe. But if you want to watch any of these videos over, not my video, well, yes, of course, my videos too, but any videos I show on here under my podcast playlists, podcast info vids, and those are on my YouTube channel. You have to put the @ symbol at Cara Chris, CHRIS TV on YouTube, and all of my under my playlist is the podcast info vids, and then all of the podcast videos from where I stream them on here are going to be on there too. So sharing is caring, you guys. Please do share that. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe. Thank you guys for those of you that have supported the stream, whether you're on X and you've used the tip jar and my main page, or you're watching this live on TikTok now. Thank you, Trump, for bringing that back. And anybody that's watching it on YouTube platforms, Facebook. I'm not currently on Instagram right now. Instagram and Facebook on my main pages still locked out. I should do a documentary on that because I learned that Meta is run by 71% AI. So I am not able to prove that that is my page for some reason. I have no idea what's going on. So if you guys have been trying to reach me on there, I'm still locked out. It's unbelievable. You wouldn't believe how much time I've invested in trying to get back into my own accounts. So anyway, going on to the magic. Okay, so here's what we're going to do starting February. So you can go ahead and start thinking about what your intents are. What is it that you're manifesting for your 2025 28-day February manifestation journey with me, with us? So the magic formula in this book, The Magic, for those of you just joining, okay, it says the magic formula. Deliberately think and say the magic words, thank you. So you're going to write a list out starting February 1st, and we're going to do this for 28 days. I have to do every single day. You have to make the commitments in the morning and in the evening. So a little bit of your time, I'd say 5 minutes in the evening and 5 minutes in the morning, and that's it. You're not adding a workout. You're not adding anything else. You're not spending a penny. This is all free. This is if you truly want to manifest greatness and something different in your 2025 year. So the magic formula is deliberately think and say the magic words, thank you. And you're going to say thank you 3 times after each thing that you have listed. So you're going to list 10 things that you have gratitude for. And you're going to have 10 more new things every day. So you write them at night, you go over them at night, and then you're going to say them first thing when you wake up in the morning. Spend that first little bit of time in the morning. You're going to go through each one, and this is what you do. So it says the more you deliberately think and say the magic words, thank you, the more gratitude you feel. This is just like a mindset, and this is the way that you can put out that positive energy around yourself and creating your space. This is how you're creating your positive space for the day, okay? The more gratitude you deliberately think and feel, the more abundance you receive. Gratitude is a feeling. So the ultimate aim in practicing gratitude is to deliberately feel it as much as you can, because it's the force of your feeling that accelerates the magic in your life. Newton's law is 1 for 1. what you give, you receive, right? A lot of us have heard that before. What you give, you receive equally. That means that if you increase your feeling of gratitude, the results in your life will expand to be equal to your feelings. The truer the feeling, the more sincerely grateful you are, the faster your life will change. So, the more intent of sincerity you feel, the faster your life will change in terms of the gratitude and the energy space that you put out, all that positive vibes, how they're like, everybody's like, positive vibes. This is what they're referring to, positive vibes, and putting the vibration of positivity around you and surrounding your whole bubble with it, that there's no space left for the negative or the doubt. You create the space that you're in, and therefore you're going to receive the same in kind, right? So the more you actually mean what you're saying, the more positivity you are putting out there, and the more negative that you let enter into your orbit cancels out one positive thing. So if you got a negative thought or negative speech that leaves your mouth, that cancels out one positive thing that was headed your way. So it's one for one equally, right? This is the method. Sounds simple. You just have to put it into practice every single day. So what it says is, oops, sorry. When you go with your intentions, right? With your list of what it is. It could be health and body. Maybe you want to manifest the best healthy status your body has ever been in, right? It could be health. It could be your body. Maybe you've been working on building your shoulders, or a six pack you haven't had in a long time, or whatever the status. The work, maybe in your work, you're miserable at work. You want something better for yourself. Maybe that's something that's going to be in your manifestation. You have to come with intent on what you're manifesting. You have to be able to see it in your mind, it coming true. You have to come with intent like that to this process. Like, this is what you're manifesting. You write it down. You can look at it. You can literally shut your eyes and visualize yourself feeling that moment, being in it as if it's already come true. You have to be able to do that. The money you want, maybe there's a number that you see yourself getting promoted at work, or maybe it's a new job that you're seeing yourself in 2025. Whatever it is, put a number behind that you want to see yourself making. Whatever the money, put that number down. Relationships, maybe you don't have a relationship, you want something that's strong, or maybe you're in a relationship that's kind of fallen apart and you want to get back to how beautiful it used to be. Put that down. Put that down. Your passions, maybe there's a hobby that you've really loved doing, but you haven't had the time to do it. You see yourself having the time to do that now in 2025. Put that down. That's your manifestation. Your happiness, maybe you've just been kind of lethargic and not really happy, more moody, more just worn out, the space that we've been talking about. Maybe you see yourself over the top joyed. You have to see that in your mind. You have to come with intent. Love, maybe you don't have love in your life. You're looking for love, but it's been in all the wrong places. Now you see yourself in a very successful, very happy relationship, and that's what you want to put down for your manifestation. Life in general, maybe you're fighting for your life with some type of disease or something you're going through, cancer treatments or whatever the case. You just see yourself living life and living healthily. Put that down. Nature, planet Earth, air, water, sun, all of those things. Maybe you are a real big into an activist and you want to see a better world for ourselves. Maybe you see whatever it is with the nature that you see. Put that down. That you have to see it coming to fruition, though. You have to see the positive change. You can't let the negative in. Okay, material goods and services. Like, I thought I'm not manifesting anything material wise, but then when I was putting myself in this space of it says to get yourself there. It's almost like going through hypnotism. You have to count from 100 back to 1, right? The first thing when you wake up, to really kind of trance your mind out to get there. A lot of times I end up falling back asleep because I get tired like around 50. But if you wake yourself back up and get to that space, you have to clear your mind and get there. And I remember seeing myself riding up in a convertible, like a BMW or it was either a BMW or I don't know, it was a Mercedes. I don't know. I think it was a BMW in my head. But I saw my daughter sitting in the passenger seat and her friends in the back with a convertible bag, and us just laughing. And I was like, wait, I wasn't gonna manifest anything materialistic like that. I was like, well, I guess my brain does have something materialistic in it. Convertible apparently is in there. But I also was like, oh man, I really do miss having a maid come and clean the house so I can focus on more things with the kids and not be spending so much time on the cleaning part too. So stuff like that, giving you ideas, manifesting that and seeing that being a part of your life, or any subject of your choosing. Maybe there's like you want to go on a trip you haven't visited, I don't know, Europe before, or Jamaica or whatever. Manifest that you can see yourself on a plane or on a boat to get there, however you see it being. You have to manifest that's where you want to be. You have to see it. You have to know that you're worthy of it and that you can see yourself actually getting those things. You have to clear out all the noise and the negativity saying, oh, but what about the money? Oh, what about, no. You're envisioning all the things that you want. That is where you have to start. So from now until February 1st, you got homework. You have to be thinking about what is it that you want to manifest in 2025? What is it that you see yourself doing and being and having life to do? Like, what is it that you want to manifest? Those are just some examples of some things, but those are the things you need to be thinking about before we start on February 1st. And then February 1st, the night before, what you're going to be doing is this. So the first thing in the morning, you're going to make a list of 10 blessings, okay? 10 blessings in your life that you're grateful for. So very first thing, February 1st, when we're starting this, you're making that first set of lists. So right now, go ahead and be thinking about what is it that you're trying to come into fruition for your 2025 year, that trip you want to go on, the body you want to have, that good health you want to have, that job you've been wanting, whatever you see yourself already receiving it. You have to see yourself already being there and living in it, okay? Then, first thing starts off, write that 10 list of the things that you're grateful for. And you don't just write the 10 things, you have to write why. Why are you grateful for that first thing? Why are you grateful for that second thing? Why are you, so on, through the 10 things. Okay? Go back, read your list, either in your mind or out loud. I like to read it out loud because it quiets down the rest of the noise. Go back and read it out loud. When you get to the end of each one, so you read the first one, let's just say, I am grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my health because I'm able to do all of the things that I'm capable of doing with my kids and with my work and all of that. I'm grateful for my health. And then you read your why, and then you say, thank you, thank you, thank you. You have to say thank you 3 times with intent. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you. You really have to dive in deep. That's why they say do it the very first thing, because right when you wake up, you're still, it's called a window that you're in. It's a lot of windows, right? A window of eating and a window when you wake up. That window of space that you're in right when you first wake up, you're still tapped into almost like your dream state. So it's a very rare space that you are in your wake life. When you're in your waking hours, is first thing you wake up, you're still partially in that dream realm. So you're able to have a little bit more clear mind with intent. And that's why this book says, when you wake up, count backwards from 100 down back to 1. So you can keep yourself in that kind of like meditative state. So your intentions can be clear and your mind and your focus can be clear. So you have your list of the 10 things, right, that you're grateful for and why. And then you go and read each one. After you read the intention or what you're grateful for and why, you say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then your next one, what you're grateful for. And then say, I'm grateful for my 2 legs because I get to walk. If you don't have 2 legs, maybe that's something you're manifesting for your future. Not that you're going to grow a leg, but maybe you get a good prosthetic that you weren't able to get. But the things that you're grateful for and saying thank you, thank you, thank you, but really thinking about why you are grateful and really feeling that gratitude. That's the only way you're going to get to this manifestation of everything that you want at the end of this month in February. And I'm not like Cleo over here. I'm not like predicting your future and like, you can pay me some big money at the end. No, this is free. We're doing this to actually dive in deep to our manifestation and what we actually want out of life. We're going to do it together. I've never done this before. I'm spiritual in the fact that I'm a Christian and I believe in God's path, but I've never approached gratitude like this. Yes, I say please and thank you and all of my things, but I've never approached gratitude to the level that this is. So I'm really excited to try this with you guys. Okay, so number 4 is repeat the first 3 steps, which is making the list of the 10 things you're grateful for, making what you're grateful for and why. So putting whatever you're grateful for and why you're grateful for that in the same number 1 block. Doing that for 10 things and saying thank you, thank you, thank you after you read them all off, after each one. Okay, repeat those steps every morning for 28 days. Okay, and then you're going to read tomorrow's practice the night before. And that's what I'll go over each day that we're on here. And each day in February, make sure you follow my channels, whatever you're on, because I'm going to be posting up what your mission is for that night, the night before, or for the next day, the night before. So day 1, I'm going to post on the 31st for what day 1 is. Day 2, I'm going to post on the 1st. You get what I'm saying? The night before, I'm going to have it all posted up so you can go through it. I might just post them all up, but just so we're staying on it together, I'll still make a post the night before, but we can go through it. And I want to hear from you guys. I want to know, is it changing your life? Is the positive impact where you normally would get into a conversation and it's filled with so much negativity and then all of a sudden like the days go into absolute crap. Nothing's going your way because now you've just canceled out by all the negative talk about, oh, I hate my job. I don't like being here. I got this thing and that thing. Every time that those negative things leave your mouth, you're canceling out all the positive benefits of your life that were coming your way. You're canceling one by one by one by one. So negative begets negative, right? Like the law, Newton's law of attraction. Positive for positive. You're going to get it back for the positive that you put out. So maybe at work or your friend group or whatever, people are used to sitting around talking smack about this person or about politics or whatever. Don't even engage anymore. Just be like, I'm on a new journey, you guys. Put your blocker up, put your negative energy blocker up and move on about your business because you're not about that life anymore. You're trying to be in that life where people are like, oh my gosh, you found a $20 bill on the ground. Oh my gosh, you got a raise. Oh my gosh, you got this thing, you got that. Like, you want to be about that life, right? That's the life. You want to be about the life where all these positive things are happening to you and you didn't do anything different but your mindset. You didn't do anything different but show gratitude. And now you're like, wow, I'm actually feeling better. I'm happier. I'm in a better mood because now I'm not diving into all the things that are making me aggravated and stressed and frankly pissing me off. You're not that person anymore. Now your loved ones or your friends or your coworkers are all going to be like, what are you on? I want some of this. I want to get on this. And that's the beauty about combining this with your intermittent fasting or your fast, because you can get deeper on that level of gratitude and giving thanks and giving back to your body and your mind and your spirit. It's all connected. It's all connected as one. So the more that you dive in deeper, remember, think about how many months, years, decades you've been mistreating your body. You've been off your path. You've been lost in the shuffle in your mind. Now you're going to say to yourself, all right, I'm going to give myself 28 days where I'm just going to give this a go and turn it all around and only speak positive things and only think positive things and show gratitude every single day. 10 different things of gratitude every day. And you may not think you have that many things to be grateful for, but trust me, you will once you dive in and you start thinking like, I'm grateful that I can breathe without a machine. I'm grateful that I have 2 eyes to see. I'm grateful that I can hear. I'm grateful I can swallow. I'm grateful I can speak without a device. Those kind of things. Those types of things. Just constant gratitude and coming up with something new every single day. You guys got this. We got this together. I have faith. I have faith. Again, the book is called The Magic if you guys want to get it or download it. It's actually, if you have what is it? Audio, whatever. Is it audio? I can't remember what the thing is. It's not, or I'm sorry. What is it that's Amazon's audio books or whatever. It's only 99 cents for the book if you wanted to have it yourself. But hard copy, and I can't remember, like $15 or something. If you wanted to have the book for yourself or as a great gift for somebody else, the book is a really good read. I just have to say. And I don't have a lot of time to sit down and read, but this one I'm reading at night. And now it's on day 1. I don't want to read too much ahead because I like everything to become as organically and as natural. But I did want to read enough to know what kind of things we need to go ahead and set in our mind and have intention for. So think about what it is that you want to manifest. If you guys missed the first part of this, make sure you go back and watch this in its entirety because it's a good one. It's a good one. But that's all for today, you guys. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we'll dive more into things on that level. But yeah, I hope you guys got a lot from this today. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for being here. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be here on the stream. This has been a dream of mine to be able to help others with all the knowledge and expertise that I have in this industry. And I really am full of gratitude for that. So thank you guys so much. Be sure to like and follow whatever the channel you're on. I am streaming this from YouTube, Cara Chris TV, and go ahead and subscribe there. Hit the notification so you can get notified when I go live weekdays. I'm on here Tuesday through Friday through the weekdays. And yeah, I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. We're over the hump and we're moving into to the weekend. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.